Yo, what is up guys? Stelboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So, Emanuel Navarrete destroys Oscar Valdez in 6 rounds to retain his WBO super featherweight title. Going into this fight, I have to say I had a lot of doubts over Emanuel Navarrete. Obviously because the last 2 performances from him have been flat, uninspired. You know, lost against Barenchik in a fight in which most people picked him to win. Fight before that, he drew against Robson Conceição. His recent form has been troubling for me. Commentary team was saying that he has recently had hand surgery and that his left hand has been troubling him for a while. And Navarrete going into this fight was saying that now he's got full confidence again in his left hand, and that looked to be the case. This was a Navarrete that we all kind of fell in love with as boxing fans. Variety, punches in bunches, leading with crazy like uppercuts and hooks and whatnot. This was the offensive Emanuel Navarrete that we love to see. The only difference was, yeah, we saw the awkwardness that makes Navarrete so effective, particularly with his lead hand. But one thing I will say, I felt he was doing a better job in this fight of picking his shots, like countering Oscar Valdez. Because primarily Navarrete is very gung-ho. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. He kind of just outworks you and drags you into somewhere horrible. He did that in this fight, but I felt there was a lot more care when it came to placement of punches from Navarrete. More attention to accuracy, I felt. But yeah, really good performance by Emanuel Navarrete. As the fight started, both guys came out the blocks, started the fight with a good exchange. Oscar Valdez landing a left hook, whereas Navarrete landing a combination. Navarrete forced the pace right from round 1, whereas Valdez was taking a look, trying to land singular counters. As we know, Valdez loves that left hook, and he looked for it a few times in round 1, landing it a couple of times as well. And throughout most of round 1, Valdez was relatively competitive until he wasn't, towards the end of round 1, where Navarrete landed a lead left hook, like a cuffing left hook to the side of the ear, and then he followed up with like a looping right hand to the side of the temple. Neither looked all that powerful, but they dropped Oscar Valdez. Valdez beats the count, but he looks unsteady. But he gets up and sees out the round. It's also worth noting that throughout, as this fight played out, we heard from Reynoso in the corner that Valdez on that first knockdown apparently fell and done something to his ankle. He fought on with it though, so credit to Valdez. After round 1 though, while Valdez was fighting with all the defiance that he could muster, while he was landing like the counter left, I think there was a moment in rounds 2 or 3 where he landed like a series of straight rights on Navarrete and backed him up. He was having moments of success, but the thing was, when he landed his hard shots, Navarrete just backed up and kind of took it in his stride. When Navarrete landed full force on Valdez, every time, almost, I felt like it had an effect on Valdez. And that was the difference, because you look at the 2 guys punch, you look at their technique, you would think that Valdez was the harder puncher, but Navarrete is just naturally heavy-handed. You know, his shots aren't always the quickest and whatnot, but he's naturally heavy-handed. I think that's helped by the fact that he throws at like such crazy angles, he leads off with such crazy punches. And another thing with Navarrete, he's built very weird. He's got deceptively long arms. And when you think you're out of range, he'll ping you not with a jab, but with like a wide looping left hook or an uppercut even, when you don't expect those shots. And I think that's what also helps him with his power, the fact that he can hit people when they don't expect it. But rounds 2 and 3. Good rounds, good competitive rounds, but like I said, Valdez was throwing singles, and basically he was reacting to what Navarrete was doing, whereas Navarrete was pushing the pace, leading off with his hook, his uppercuts, following through with a straight right hand, pushing Valdez back, working the body, having success. Round 4, Was another bad round for Valdez in terms of like the scorecards. Again, was fighting competitively throughout. But again, Navarrete just outworking him, getting the better of him. Actually rocked him off balance on one occasion during the middle of the round. Right hand followed by a left hook. And the right hand again caused problems at the end of a round, like right at the end of a round. Valdez lost his shape after an attempted exchange. Navarrete caught him with a right hand, like a straight right, to the side of the head. Followed up with a messy-looking uppercut, but Valdez goes down again. Another 10-8 round, and in between rounds 4 and 5, the doctor actually checked on Valdez, because of how he was responding to the punches. But the doctor allows it to continue. And, to Valdez's credit in round 5, I felt he really came out and had a good round for the most part. Tried to focus on the body of Emanuel Navarrete, really made a key attempt to go to the body, primarily with the left hook. And he was catching Navarrete to the body several times, at times pushing Navarrete back. Round 5 looked like Navarrete was taking it off. He was throwing shots here and there, but Valdez, for me, was landing the more eye-catching shots, mainly to the body, like I said, until the end, where Navarrete landed some beautiful shots. He actually switched to southpaw, landed a jab, landed a straight left, then he follows it up with a long lead left uppercut, bang on the chin, and it knocks out Oscar Valdez's mouthpiece. A great punch by Navarrete, and it got Valdez's attention. Valdez was buzzed, but, he saw the end of a round, and round 6 was where the fight ended. And in round 6, Navarrete basically just dog-walked Oscar Valdez, walking him down, firing the uppercut, pushing Valdez back. Valdez was trying to fight off Navarrete, but you could tell that the pressure was getting to him. You could tell that the end was nigh. He got rocked in round 6. Tried his best to fire back with Navarrete, but Navarrete was getting the better of the exchanges. He forces Valdez to the ropes. Valdez is trying to fire away. Navarrete engages him in the exchange, lands a lovely left hook to the body, drops Valdez. That's all she wrote. Dominant performance by Emanuel Navarrete. Best I've seen him look for a while. And again, this is the Navarrete that I used to so much enjoy watching fight. Just great to watch, man. Just great to watch. It's like watching an octopus fight. He's got such long arms. He throws punches at crazy ass angles. He doesn't look the part. You look at him in the ring, like, doesn't look in great shape. But he makes it work for himself, man. He's got good cardio. He's heavy-handed, he's awkward, and this is what made him so effective, and he put on a good show. As for Navarrete, man, what next? I mean, why not have Navarrete versus, Rafael Espinoza, who's a featherweight champion, of course, fought on the same card. That would be a great fight, all Mexican battle. Navarrete versus Espinoza would be a firefight. That would be a great fight. Navarrete versus Anthony Cacace. I think Cacace is still the IBF featherweight champion. That'll be a good fight. Navarrete versus O'Shaki Foster is another one. But right now, you'd still say Navarrete based on form, based on past performances. You would say that Navarrete is probably the best guy at super featherweight right now. But there's it's kind of up in the air. So we'll see. But this was a good performance by Navarrete. As for Valdez, listen, man, he showed some good bravery in there, I felt. He showed some good bravery. But, he's had a long, hard career. He's 33 years old. He's been a world champion. It's not going to get any better from here. I'd assume he's made, decent money as well. I would say now it's time for Oscar Valdez to retire. He's had some good moments. The win over Miguel Berchelt, for example. The win over Scott Quigg. He's had some good fights. He's had some good performances. But yeah, I think the end is now for Oscar Valdez. I think the end is now. I think he should probably call it a day. But anyway, Share your thoughts. Beanie Guy Del Boy. Peace.